Good morning, good morning. This is Spirit Journey, and today is Thursday, May 21, 2020, and the time is 10:39 a.m. Yeah, just coming out the shower, and I have some feelings, emotions that I want to share. I feel emotional pain right now, but I am okay. Um, It's really something how COVID-19 did this whole drama um, is part of it. But it's not just it though, okay? I know it's not just that. It's the signs of the time. And I want to focus on the words unconditional love. And I think that is my problem, a big problem. See, I think what's happening, okay, it's an awakening in trying to bring you to the next level. And that level, you have to let go. And so I think what I'm experiencing right now, and part of last year at one point, um, you feel like I'm grieving because I see that there's an old self of me, and then there's a part that if you stay where you are, you're going to continue feeling boo-hoo, and it could destroy you. When you let things, people, life is filled with drama. Life is filled with death. Life is filled with disappointments. And sometimes even when something good may come in, you may not be able to receive the blessings that come in. Okay? And so it clouds things. And so I think what I'm feeling now, like I'm in emotional pain. And the word unconditional love, what is unconditional love? And I think why I'm also focusing on those words is because I received a group text, T-E-X-T, I'm saying text. And the text wasn't to me specifically, but the person who wrote the term, and I felt anger, and the anger that I'm experiencing when I saw it was that I thought it was not genuine. But again, who is to say? But when someone over the years demonstrates contrary, and when they want to hide behind, maybe they're learning spirituality. I mean, people could change. I'm not trying to say that people can't change. But with love also wants to correct. And when you know that you've done wrong to people over the years, and then but you haven't demonstrated of any sign of remorse, but then they want to embrace this maybe new term now called unconditional love, but you haven't demonstrated it. And so I feel this anger at this because now you're just going to say, oh, you got unconditional love, and you start to wonder, well, who do you have unconditional love towards? See, love, in my opinion, love is not, I used to think like love is a feeling, and so sometimes I feel I don't love because I might feel anger. And I would say most of my anger is justifiable when you see injustices in the world. When something bad happens to someone, you may feel anger. So a loved one gets hurt or your pet gets hurt. You feel sorrow and pain and maybe even anguish again. So does that mean that when I'm in those emotional states that I'm not loving? So love is a term that could confuse me at times. And the term unconditional love, it's not just a word. It is something that has to be demonstrated. That's my issue. You're going to throw that term out. Now, I think it's a beautiful word. And I would like to come to a point in my life, because right now I don't feel on this unconditional love right now. I'm learning to, it seems like, tapping into my anger. See, I was taught by society and others that if you show anger, you're a bad person. And I'm not saying about violence, but to have angry thoughts or anger, or you dislike something, or that is bad. Okay? Now, anger is an emotion. And anger, an emotion is just like an emotion. Just like you walk on a thumbnail, you're gonna have physical sensations and you may have an emotion that follows. Okay? Thoughts bring on emotions. And so it's not an evil because it's so closely related. Your body and the thoughts that follow, and also the behaviors that can follow. Okay? So I want to get to a point about this. I like the word unconditional love. And again, my channel name on YouTube is Spirit Journey. And this is a journey that I'm going on. And the myth that if you're spiritual, that you never get emotional, you never, uh, you're not supposed to display signs of anger. And I also want to be true to myself. I don't want to be a fake YouTuber. And I think that's part of it. Like you feel like you want to fit in, and then at the same time, you want to be you. You want to be able to express you. You don't want to be fearful that if you say a certain thing, that maybe you might lose subscribers. And again, I didn't start this channel, Spirit Journey, for monetization. When I started, I didn't know about monetization. And I just wanted to use it as a platform for me to express my feelings and things that I was encountering. I wanted to expand beyond the so-called racial problems, racism in New York City where I live. I wanted to go beyond that. But it's funny how as time went on, my channel addresses many racial issues, a tremendous amount. And I think my addressing racial issues is part of my identity as a so-called black woman living in America. I see many of us in the black community, we're hurting. We are hurting individuals. I'm not the only one that has experienced what I've experienced. It's very prevalent in our community. But that word, unconditional love, I think I really care about people. I really do. And I don't want to get into the race game, you know. I want to go beyond this channel, Spirit Journey, and I'm talking to myself as I say this, that this channel is about overcoming my overcoming the emotional obstacles that I faced growing up, to overcome it. And that's my goal. I don't want to live in the past, and I want to let go of this emotional pain. And I think the emotional pain that I'm experiencing is the feeling of rejection. That's the key word, rejection. What happens when you feel rejected? You don't feel loved, right? So how could you experience unconditional love when you're not loved? And when you feel you're not loved, you may not love yourself. And so the key thing here is that feeling these feelings, one could start walking around feeling that they don't love themselves. What happens when people don't love themselves or show respect for themselves? What could happen? Well, what could happen is that people pick up on it and they may mistreat you. Immature people may mistreat you. Those people who truly love themselves, they could see how you feel and they might reach out. Okay? All right, so ask yourself this question. When you see someone who doesn't love themselves, who's hurting, now there are different levels of emotional pain in individuals. Are you a person that reaches out to, or maybe give a little smile of encouragement, or are you the type that kicks someone when they're down? Those people who kick people when they're down really don't love themselves either. They're looking for somebody to abuse because that's how they feel about themselves. So that's a no-no. But again, see, I also just completed a book. Let me see if I can get that book. I just completed it. Hope I can get it. Oh, you can hardly see it. Okay. Get the name. Okay. Hope you can see it. Okay. And it's about, let me get the whole thing. Okay, let me read the title. Okay. World of Archangels, How to Meet an Archangel. And it's by Sufan Chaudhary. Okay, I hope I got the name right, the pronunciation. Well, anyway, I just completed this book, and then I jumped into the shower, and now I'm just, putting lotion on my body. But I wanted to get it out because like when I go in the shower, I start to think and everything, and I had these emotions, and I wanted to share it. But this guy, he shared something I thought was very interesting, and I want to find it. Okay, where was that? I thought it was really interesting. Okay, let me see if I can find it here. Okay. Where's this? Oh, brother. To try to find. Well, basically, let me just paraphrase, because I can't really find it. I put a marker on it. But either way, he talked about love. Oh, wait, I think I might have found it. Okay. Yeah, I found it now. Okay. He says, learn how to respect yourself beyond the point of duty. You are a sentient being with the power of unlocking yourself. You will unlock yourself only if you respect yourself. If you do not respect yourself, then all manner of dark paths shall await you. And that kind of jumped out at me. That jumped out at me. A lot of us, we walk in this dark path. Some of us go into drug abuse. Some people start to abuse others. Some people become criminals. You know what I'm getting at? Okay. Then this other part here says, let's see, okay, I have to continue with it. Um, there is no self-respect in darkness. There are only those who learn to live in the suffering of others. Your others are your friends and family members. There is only one family in this universe. This family respects itself. We do not whore ourselves to the darkness for the promise of good things. Now that stood out to me. It stood out like, let's say this channel. And some of us may have channels and it's all about commercialism. He uses that term commercialism here at some point. Yeah, I can read that also. But it's saying that we're not to do things and try to be people pleasers. See, I was raised that my time here is to please others. And this could be detrimental. It doesn't make you feel good. Because again, it's a control thing. What about those other people? Don't they have a responsibility of doing things for others? Don't they have the responsibility of loving others? So people who want people to love them, but then they don't have to love you, that's a problem. That is a problem. Love is a two-way street. And unconditional love, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's really something. Okay, there's something else he was saying here. Let's see. Yeah, it's about the commercialism. He wants us to believe that we are God. And I understand that. And I did a video and I said that I am God. But I'm not the creator, but in essence, if that we have abilities to create things with our mind, with our imagination, and that's where the true magic is in our life, to be able to think something and then put it into fruition. So that's all that I take it as. Where is it here? He says, humanity will not accept those doors until it believes it is God. I am God, I am God. How many times shall you repeal these phrases until you stop believing in the commercialization of good things? This is not a question. This is a given task. The true power of love is to accept yourself and thy neighbor as God, for this shall bring upon oneness in a world that thinks it is everything else. That was the last part of the book. And I said to myself, it really meant it. Wow. I was getting caught up. And I was feeling rejected. And I always saw myself as someone. I think I am a caring person, but pain, emotional pain, acts as a filter for being able to truly love. And this unconditional, I like the concept of unconditional love, that you love regardless. But see, love is maturity too. And so, if you stay around people who despise you, who use you, and you don't put your foot down, they can actually try to destroy you and use your so-called unconditional love that you may have for them and destroy you in the process. Even the Bible talks about don't throw your pearls to swine, because they'll trample over the pearls and you. Yes. So love has, I guess something you got to be really careful how you handle situations. But I think my main concern here It's about standing on my ground to be able to say, I had enough. And I think that's what's happened in this process. Seeing that text about someone allegedly having unconditional love and that they've never demonstrated even just being a loving person. But I shouldn't let it destroy me or get me so wild up because, they have to live with themselves. I want to get to a point to live within myself and to really embrace who I am. Embrace that I'm not perfect. I think that was another issue that I was dealing with, that growing up, I had to be perfect. I couldn't make a mistake. I wasn't allowed to make a mistake. And any mistake that I've made, you're doing it, you're at a job or something, and you make a little mistake. And how I was treated. So it made me a very insecure person. And then I started seeing the same type of people who are really in a position of accountability. They might be managers or chiefs, and I saw things. And when they made a major, major mistake, it was swept under the rug. See, I'm seeing that there's little people who are being stepped on. And why they step on these little people, I'm just coming to, understanding this now as I speak, is that these big fish hide behind their titles, hide behind their size or their gender or their race, and use it against you to cover their insecurities. And yes, this is essential that you guys get this. There are people out there who are in a position of being the teachers. But see, they're not God, and we all make mistakes. And when I see that nothing happens to them, it's like, hey, wait a minute. You had this high standard for me, and then for you, oh, it's nothing. Oh, and you try to cover it up. I'm angry. See, they wanted us to see them as almost like a god, someone so-called important. And when the circle changed and they messed up, no one said anything. See, now I'm at a point that I want to. See, what you hear in my voice is, I'm at a point in my life now that I want to out those people. These people that we looked up to. These people that we had to revere them like a celebrity or a god. Here I brought my little dog, Lily, to the doctors. 2 places. And both of them messed up on my dog's leg. And I am so angry. And, the second doctor, he apologized. He said, I'm sorry. So what can I say? I accepted his apology, but I still want them to adjust the bill. See, they made a mistake. These doctors, these vets. I shouldn't have to pay for their mistake. And so that's my issue now. But see, I think this is all a wake-up to me to be able to truly love myself. See, we lived in these illusions. And some of these illusions you created yourself because you misunderstood. You didn't understand what was really going on. And then you start to see, like in The Wizard of Oz, you see that the wizard was just a little insecure, insignificant individual who had so much insecurities that they paraded themselves like a god. Those of you who've never seen the movie The Wizard of Oz, it came out in the 1930s. Go see it. Go see it. It's something I saw it as a child, but now as I'm an adult, and some people have made reference to that movie, I'm starting to understand what that movie was really about. It's not a children's story, even though on the surface it was, you know, kind of catering to children. But no, it's really about the world, the world that we live in. And so people who think that, this persona of godness is because they're afraid to show their mistakes, their humanity. So I want to get to a point in my life. See, I can't keep perfection. I'm not perfect, and I really don't want to impose perfection on others. I want to have this unconditional love for myself and others, and that sometimes mistakes happen, you know. If it was something, deliberate, that's something else. But I want to be able to release the pain and really manage who I have in my life. And this other YouTuber was saying the same thing with her experience. She is a doctor. She used to practice in the United States, but her license was pulled away, and she does what do you call it? This other type of methodologies in medicine, and it was successful, and the system got her. Yeah. And I recently saw the video. It was yesterday, actually. And she said, think of coronavirus as a way of thinking new, taking this opportunity like a restart, and that this is your new life, and the old system, forget about it, and say, I'm going to have this opportunity now for myself. I'm going to meet these type of people. You want to expose yourself to a new um, something that's going to work for you emotionally, and have it as a learning lesson. And that's what I would like to do. That is what I want to aim for. And yeah, the old system, you can't get it back. You could only, when someone is violated, they've been violated. You know what I mean? But you can learn from it. I want to learn from this experience. Um, yeah, I guess there's a part where, like let's say someone pours cold water on you, and you're hot, and then there is an initial shock. So be prepared. Yes, there's going to be an initial shock in all this drama, but it's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I am okay. And I'm human like everyone else. Let's stay strong together, and let's be good to ourselves. And it's okay to say enough is enough to those people who purposely try to hurt you. Sometimes you just need to stay away, but to still in a balance, to move on, to embrace yourself, and to embrace those who is safe to hug. Not everybody you should hug. Okay? So I thank you for this opportunity to share this video. Um, yeah, I still want to get to. I don't want to really put a lot of content right now, but I just felt necessary to put this one out. So I thank you, and yes, you guys and gals, be safe during this virus or any other thing, because the other things other than coronavirus, the other sicknesses. So don't forget about those other things that we have to be careful of in life. Take care of all of you. Be smart about it. You know. I think part of it got got cut off in the video. Yeah. So I was just closing the video that yes, that I thank you for the opportunity to share you my thoughts, and that this is a process that we're going through. Yes, let let love live by love, but also let love be your teacher. Okay. Thank you again. Bye bye. I just have some other thoughts now that I think I wanted to originally talk about with the concept about this unconditional love. About the royal families of Europe, and in particular the British monarchy. Now, I think what happened originally, like, yeah, these royal houses claim that they're in the position they are because that they are related to the gods or something. They come from the gods or something, some connection with God. Let's say that might have been the case. Let's just say that happened. What did it turn out to become? You have people who are in these positions, kings, queens, princesses, and what do? Well, the common folk has to tend their needs. They do everything. But now, like modern day monarchies, people are getting upset. You've seen this extravagance of have versus have not. And I think people are getting upset. People have to work for the money. They even have an expression, and it's not even an expression, it's a terminology that so-and-so is part of the working class. I don't know who doesn't work at something. I mean, maybe some people are retired, whatever. But you have some type of responsibility and you get paid for your job, whatever, and you may retire later on. But no, it's talking about a particular social class. And it's not the royalty or what they call aristocracy. So you have these royal house that wants to take your money, your hard work, and then turn around and say, you're not supposed to talk to me until I talk to you. Now, do you think that is something that a true God would have done? Now, if we're all one, right, with this new age type of religion that, we are all God, we're all one. Okay, well, why would a God need you to pour their cup of coffee? Why would they can pour it themselves? They could just use their mind and do it. I don't think God is a lover to show that they have special ability. If you have special ability, you don't even need anybody else. But there is a codependency. And again, like the Wizard of Oz, you have the little guy pretending to be something they're not. And I think the royal houses of today have been hijacked and teaching you not to love yourself, and now are exploiting your labor. God doesn't need your labor. The Creator. The system has been hijacked by wannabes, and these wannabes are in those castles, and these castles could fall, and it can fall during this coronavirus. It can fall in an instant. People can get these diseases, whatever, or why it's spreading the way it is. I think it's manufactured, this virus, to do just what it's doing, and hyped up, and the fear of getting a cold or flu can cause death, can make you so fearful that you die of fear. And you have people, what's that, Prince Charles, and other royalty, like, what's his name, the Prince of Monaco, Prince Albert. He had it too. And the Prime Minister of Britain had it. Well, it can be such a plague, and boom! These plagues can come in what they call a second wave, what's happening now in China. This is a wake-up call for everyone, especially these people who want to see themselves as a God who wants to lord it over others. And those others are the ones who actually support the high up. The queen gets her castle paid off by the taxes of the so-called working class people. See that? You work and they sit on their behind and tell you you're not important and don't talk to me until I talk to you first. That is not love. And that's a system that needs to be broken. This is just food for thought, guys. Thank you again for listening. And again, love yourself and respect others. Bye-bye.